We are live from the Bloggers Cafe here at ISTE 2015, and we have an amazing guest for us today. We have a great company here called Crescerance, not a stranger to the TeacherCast network. How are you, Alefiya?
I'm doing very well, Jeff. Thanks for having me here. Good morning. Good morning.
Why don't you introduce yourself to the panel?
Thank you. My name is Alefiya Bhatia. I'm one of the founders of Crescerance. Our company works with schools and districts in a few different ways, but one of the most exciting way is these two wonderful people that I'm flanked by today have done some great things with creating their own mobile apps, and it's with a program called MADLearn. So we're really excited about it.
And last year we were in Atlanta, and everybody was abuzz over this app called TweetMe. Susan, how are you today?
I'm doing great.
Tell us a little bit about yourself, and tell us a little bit about TweetMe.
I'm Susan Bearden. I'm the Technology Director at Holy Trinity Episcopal Academy in Melbourne, Florida, and I am the co-moderator of EdTech Chat and DigCit, and I created TweetMe, the mobile app, to help educators get on Twitter. And TweetMe is celebrating its first birthday this year at ISTE. Yay! Let's hear it for the TweetMe bird!
Woohoo!
It's amazing how easy it is these days for people to create an app, isn't it? I mean, 5 years ago, we were trying to work with platforms in coding, and now we have a great system here that can help students of any age learn how to create apps. And you're seing amazing apps pop up. Tell us a little bit about Crescerance and how did it come about? And
Sure.
how does this whole thing fit together?
Absolutely. So we're a young tech late stage startup, but still a young company, and we want to always be a young company because there's great things that come with that, we believe. But we started about 4 years ago, and we wanted to help solve the communication problem. We wanted to help a school connect and engage with their communities in an easier way through mobile. Clearly, we're all on our devices, so I need an app for my school. I need to have everything about my school right there in the palm of my hand. And in the process, we realized that we needed to not be the only ones creating the mobile apps. We needed to teach the kids how to do it and enable the kids how to do it and the educators how to do it. So that's where MADLearn came from. MAD is mobile app development, and it's just turning these wonderful ideas that kids have into reality.
And the neat part about it is you don't have to know coding.
Nope.
There are parts, we'll talk about this, there are parts where, coding does come in handy, but
Yeah.
by creating an app, you can come out with an Apple app, an Android app, a Windows app, and really have this cross-platform, as you said, form of communication.
Absolutely.
And you're really empowering students to really, we go back to student voice, and really having a student say, I have this idea to teach something, or I want to make an app for my robotics club. Talk to us about some of the projects that you've seen come out of this project.
Susan, would you like to share some of the things that you've seen?
Sure. Well, my school was one of the pilot schools for MADLearn, and it's been really exciting to see what the kids have come up with. One of our first students created an app about Rainbow Loom, those little rubber bracelets that have been so popular that the kids weave together. And she was a fifth grader, and she created an app called Rainbow Loom, and it is available for download on iOS and Android in the App Store. And she has had, according to Namit yesterday, over 120,000 downloads in the space of a little over a year.
Yep.
This is an app created by a fifth grader. So you want to talk about student voice and giving kids the opportunity to express themselves. It's a really neat program.
Absolutely, and just some other examples, and Danielle with her Rainbow Loom app was such a fun example because she took an interest that she had, a passion that she had, and she turned it into this wonderful learning experience and project that I remember Kathy talking about, hey, she's interested in grammar now, and she really wants to write well because there's an audience for what she's creating. But just a few other examples, we've had a group in Auburn, Nebraska that created an app for their local movie theater. And they were at risk for shutting down because of lack of funding. They ran a whole, Raise Our Funds program, and they made an app for the theater, help people come to it and be more a part of it. So they helped a local business out in that process. We have another group of kids in Tennessee that's actually working on an app for sex trafficking and how to prevent that through something that is not just an app that helps you know what the problem is and identify where the biggest problems are as far as sex trafficking is concerned, but really take, the ability to take a picture and geotag it and send it to the authorities. And they're just thinking about such amazing things. And when you think about the ideas that our kids have, and Angela was on the show earlier, and we talk about heartbreaks all the time. What's something that breaks your heart? What's something that bothers you, that bugs you, that you want to fix in some way? Now let's figure out how to make a piece of technology that can help that.
And how long does it take to do this? Is this something that's going to take months to put together, or?
No, that's a good question, Jeff. Typically, we'll see, a semester of class around a mobile app development project. It could also be done in an after-school setting or in a summer camp. But I would say at least 8 to 15 hours is kind of a good time frame to think about. You could definitely do it longer. We've had several folks. Vicki Davis, Cool Cat teacher, has done MADLearn with her students, and she did it all semester long with her high school kids. And then they did a Shark Tank event at the end of the semester to decide and pick which app would then be submitted to the app stores. So
that's really
cool.
It's
a lot of fun.
Now, talk to us about that, because I know with normal apps, you have to get a developer account. Mm-hmm. You have to submit to Apple. You have to wait. Do teachers have to know any of that stuff with MADLearn?
Nope, not at all. We take care of all of that for the school, for the teachers, for the students. If you have an app that has been selected as an amazing app to be published, we take care of all of that for you. So you don't have to worry about it at all.
Now, can I plug a little bit here?
Absolutely.
Go ahead.
We'd love to hear about what you just launched.
I'm going to tell you that the people up here have absolutely shaped my obsession over the last 360 some days here, because, and I told you this, I saw TweetMe and I bought it, and it's an amazing app, and it teaches you how to do Twitter, and I said, that's a great idea. And we have partnered up here to create an amazing app teaching people how to podcast and create WordPress apps. And it's an amazing, amazing tool. If you go to anything, iOS, Android, and Windows, and you can search for educational podcasting today, you are going to check out our brand new app, and I'm so excited about it. And I don't want to go any further with this interview without mentioning Chris Milburn, who is a saint among saints, and for the last 3 or 4 weeks, she has been absolutely helping me make sure that this app is absolutely perfect.
Thank you.
Down to the fact of a few days ago, she showed me this beautiful mock-up of an advertisement, and I ripped it up immediately. And in like 20 minutes, she's like, "Here, it's the way you want it," and it's awesome. And so, if you're watching out there, you can certainly go to educationalpodcasting.today, and you can check it out, and certainly hope that you download it. And as I say, every app download puts a diaper on a baby.
Download it today. Check it out. It's an amazing app.
Now, talk to us a little bit about these cards. Now, I know we have a big not at ISTE following, but for those who you are at ISTE, what is this that I'm holding in my hand?
Sure. So that is a little card that says MADLearn on it. And if you're here at the ISTE conference in Philadelphia, you'll find these cards all over the convention center. If you pick the card up, take a selfie of yourself, and tweet us at MADLearn with your picture, you will get a free classroom set of MADLearn licenses.
We have a few people in the chat box here. Walker Patui's in the chat box, and he says, what happens if I take a selfie of this? Can he get a class set for all of his puppet friends?
Any day and twice on Sunday.
What is a class set?
Whatever your classroom size is. Some of our classrooms are 5 or 10 students big because it's a small after-school program. Some of our classrooms are a whole 25 or 30 students because you're doing it throughout the semester. Whatever your classroom is, that's what you'll get.
And is that the ability to create the app, publish the app, just have access to the system? What's the
Great question. Well, what is the free license? So it's access to the online system, so your students can create as many apps as they would like. It doesn't include the publishing of them, but you can definitely create as many apps as you like on the platform.
Very, very nice. Do you have to create, I know the answer here, but I'm going to ask you anyway, do you have to create an app differently for a Windows phone versus an iPad or talk to us about that student, because some of us are in BYOD, and some of us are in one-to-one. What's the process here?
Sure. So very simple process. And Susan, maybe you can tell us a little bit more about your experience with your students. But very simple process. It's an online platform. You can log in. There's templates there. You can drag and drop them into your app, build out your screens. And the app that you're building online, you can then view and visualize on an iOS device, an Android device, or a Windows device. So it's a single entry point, but it spits out on all of your different devices. How have you seen the students kind of use that, and what what are some of the challenges or fun things that they've been able to do with it?
Well, one of the great things about having a web-based platform, Alefiya, is that the kids can work on their app anywhere. So a lot of the times the kids will start working on their app in class, and then they'll go home and they'll spend hours refining their app and making improvements to it. And what's neat is that the license allows kids to make lots of different apps. So they can make, lots of apps depending on their different interests. And it's been fascinating for me to see the stuff that the kids come up with. I mean, you've mentioned some of the apps that the kids have created. We had a student who created an app about light bulbs. I never knew so much about light bulbs and the difference between different types of light bulbs and what made them different. But this was a kid that this was his passion, and so he created an app about light bulbs. So
wonderful.
The possibilities are really endless, and it also gives kids a chance to learn lessons about, like you said, not about making sure that they're writing with good grammar, but also about creative credit and copyright, and making sure that they are citing sources appropriately and not just, participating in the copy and paste culture that so many students they just don't know any better. So it is a great opportunity to teach kids about digital citizenship as well.
We have a couple questions here online. We have a huge worldwide audience right now. I actually was seeing earlier, and if you're watching on TeacherCast.tv, please again tell us where you're from. But we have people from Sydney, Australia. We have people from, I saw Saudi Arabia type in. I saw Montreal type in. They want to know how they can get in touch with some of these things. What can somebody who's not at ISTE do to share the love?
That's a great question.
Can they take a picture of their own iPhone or something?
Tweet us, tell us who you are, where you're from, what you'd love to do with your MADLearn licenses, and we'll figure out a way to make it happen.
Now, we have an Edu celebrity here that wants to talk to you. Waka, are you here today?
Right here.
And by the way, I want to introduce you to Alefiya and to Susan.
Oh yeah, we've been on the show together. We kind of know each other.
I'm sorry.
Right. Old friends.
Now, Alefiya has told us that if they take one of these cards and you take a selfie of yourself, you can get a classroom set for MADLearn here, and
for free.
For free.
For free.
Yeah, but you have to take a selfie of yourself.
Right.
Can you do that?
I have friends, and
Does that count as a selfie?
as long as
Absolutely.
Waka, would you ever be interested in creating an app for the Edu Puppets?
Maybe. I mean, I just have to figure out what problem the app would solve and how it would be useful to them, and then kind of design it to fit their needs, right? Maybe there'd be a whole design process where I interview the other puppets about the things they struggle with in life and what could make it easier, and then, build the app from there.
And what platforms would you like to see the app for?
Well, puppets kind of are evenly split between iPhone, Android, and bricks of clay they pretend are phones. So I needed to really work on all three of those.
Did you know that Susan over here created her own app to teach people how to use Twitter?
That's pretty brilliant, really, because Twitter can be hard and overwhelming and kind of cray-cray.
Now, Walker, I noticed that you're also on Twitter, aren't you?
I love the Twitters.
Now, I sometimes see when you tweet, it's just the same character over and over again. Is that because your nose is a little bit bigger than one key?
Yeah, there's a lot of things that happen. My phone is one of the ones where I mentioned it's made of clay. Makes it hard to do the input.
How's the Wi-Fi on that?
The Wi-Fi is awesome. Rock solid.
Well, Waka, I will say that if you want to make an app for puppets, and specifically Edu Puppets, you have to go through the same process that the kids go through. You have to brainstorm, you have to map it out, you have to figure out why, when, who, answer all of those important questions before you can get started.
Yeah, totally.
Hopefully we can help.
I hope so. If anybody can, you can. Hashtag not holding my breath.
You mentioned a few things there about the app. We talked about the development, we talked about the publishing. When a teacher is looking to create something like this officially, what do they need to provide for you? Because, we're looking at graphics, we're looking at pictures, we're looking at what should a teacher or a school have prepared before they start one of these projects?
I'm actually going to flip that question on you, Jeff, because you just went through this whole process.
Uh-oh.
What's everything that you had to put together for us?
You need to have a well-working website and a wife that just completely supports everything that you're doing.
Or husband.
And you need to make sure that your edu triplets are in bed by 4:30 in the afternoon. No, but seriously, it really wasn't that difficult to put together. What I did was I went on your site and I saw that the easiest way to organize this and conceptualize this is through those spider graphs.
Yep.
And I came up with this concept of, okay, let's put this central idea in, and then I put out a branch for podcasting and a branch for WordPress, and then I threw everything on the table, and then I just started deleting things here and there, and then it just kind of started to work.
Mm-hmm.
And it was awesome, and it was so
great.
simple. And then the other neat thing that I love about this, and you don't get this if you're working with Apple's tool, which is called Xcode, is I gave my friends a code to check out the app while I was building it. And we call that bragging, but it really was just about, can you look at this? Can you try this out for me? Can you do this? Can you share with us how that works? Because that was amazingly easy for everybody else to try that out.
Absolutely. So what we've created is essentially an app preview. And so if you go to the App Store and if you search Crescerance App Preview, it's a free app. It's on iOS, Android, soon to be on Windows. But you download that, it's a free app, and it'll ask you to enter a code. Every app that you create with MADLearn has a 9-digit code associated with it. So when you're online on the online portal, you're creating your app, you'll see a 9-digit code that comes up with your app. If you give somebody that 9-digit code, they put it into their device, they'll see your app right there on your device. Even though it's not live, it's not published, it's not public yet, it's basically a way for you to see how it looks on different devices, to share it with friends and family, to get validation, especially when you're thinking about launching it. Kids need to really think about, is this a viable idea? Is this built out correctly? Are my end users being satisfied and engaged in the way that I want them to be? So they get to test it out in that really critical sort of design engineering process where they get to iterate, they get feedback from their consumers through that process.
Well, Susan, what feedback have you gotten from TweetMeet?
You know, it's been really exciting. It's been really positive. I've been, as reflecting back on 1 year of TweetMe, it's been really exciting for me to hear how many educators are using TweetMe if they're doing presentations on how to teach educators about Twitter. Here's a resource for you to use. And that's been so rewarding for me because this was really a passion project, because I know that learning how to use Twitter can be very intimidating for teachers. I mean, it looks funny, you don't understand all the vernacular, and that was why I created TweetMe, because I wanted educators to be able to watch the videos at their own pace. If they didn't catch something the first time, be able to go back, watch the video again, and watch it whenever you have a free moment, because we're all busy people. And you know, you might just have a free 20 minutes at one point and you can watch one of the videos. And so that was my goal in creating TweetMe, and it has just been so exciting for me to see how well it's been received by the educator community.
And now the neat part about it is also, and I keep saying neat part because there's a lot of neat things here, but the ability to change the app whenever you need to.
Yes.
That is amazing. And so if you do happen to download the TweetMe, there's going to be a video on there soon of how to Twitter with a puppet in the other hand. We'll make one, right?
Absolutely. And you know, one of the other exciting things that Crescerance has come out with since I first created TweetMe was push notifications. And that's a feature that I am planning to take advantage of, and wanted to make it also available to any Twitter chat moderators. So if any Twitter chat moderators are listening to this, please reach out to me, because I'd like to give you the opportunity to help promote your Twitter chat via TweetMe, using the push notification features, whether you're talking about the chat questions or the chat topic, or just to remind people that the chat is coming up. So it's really blossomed into starting out just as a how-to app to now trying to make it easier for all connected educators to build their learning networks using Twitter.
And can I just say one thing? Susan, I may not have mentioned this to you, but I cannot tell you how many districts that we've talked to that have said, oh yeah, we're using TweetMe in our professional development for social media for all of our teachers district-wide. So that's really exciting to hear.
People want to know how to spell TweetMe.
Okay, it is TweeChme. And if you're on Twitter and you want to follow the Little Bluebirds Twitter updates, it is at TweechMeApp. So the Twitter handle is at TweechMeApp.
Nice.
So you can find us in the App Store and on Twitter.
Alefiya, where can we find out more information about this?
Sure. If you would like to visit our website, it's mad-learn.com. And we're on Twitter at MADLearn, MADLEARN.
Definitely check it out. I can't say enough about it. This was a very, very easy thing to do. Certainly download the TweechMe app and certainly download Educational Podcasting today. Again, every download is a diaper on a baby's behind. So we will be back live from TeacherCast, live here at ISTE. We are in the Bloggers Cafe, and back soon from TeacherCast.